Yes, I was going to ask you about that as well. I noticed that I've tried to stay to the 3 and I've done pretty well at it, but sometimes I just automatically go for the ones that
you're seeing
from
others
the last couple of weeks. Yeah.
Right, because you're seeing others, because patients in the course of going through that particular session, you may see 5, 6 different setups occur.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they're not the 3 you're doing this week.
Right. So
So you have to pass.
Out of those 33 trades, I probably kind of went back to the previous week's setups, maybe like 3 or 4 times in paper trading. So that's probably why I went ahead and did more trades, because I noticed that I was doing that.
You saw what had occurred, that you didn't take those setups because those weren't yours for this week. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Fantastic. Very good. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
No problem. Richard, there he is. What's happening, Richard?
I'm doing well. How are you, Tony?
Hanging. Talk to me. How'd it go last week?
Did a little bit more trading this week for sure. Paper trading. I ended up doing 43 trades.
Okay. Getting that practice in.
You have 31 wins, 12 losses, and my reasonings for getting in was pictures of strength and weakness, working the trap zone, and gifts.
Real quick, you see a bunch of gifts this last week or so?
And a lot of gifts, that's for sure.
Big candles, huh?
Yep, given the entry. I also have been using a trailing stop, this week as well, just because I can kind of, it makes me stick to my stop, and I can just kind of watch it and set the parameters based off of a percentage, say 10% or 50%, or if I want a little bit more wiggle room, I'll go 20 or 25%.
Okay, so you're getting a feel. Okay, good.
Yep. And then that's why, when you see like the picture of weakness starting to form, if it's a fake, then, I have my stop in there. And if it's really going to start to go, it'll trail. And if I feel like getting out of one of my contracts or letting some off, then I can throw out my limit trades like we talked about last week, instead of using my stop to get me out. So it's good, a lot more consistency, taking a lot less losses with the trailing stop. Even though it'll be, small gain, it won't be like a loss for sure. So
hey, I'm starting to feel like when I was coaching my football team now. So I'm feeling when I see or I hear, in this case, improvement, and I hear it in you guys' voices too, by the way. I really do. I can kind of tell. You can hear confidence in someone's voice. You can, and I hear it in you guys' voices out there. It sounded like, if we had this same conversation a year ago, or say maybe 3 months in, that wouldn't be fair. Say 3 months into your trading career, or I don't know if we can call it a career, but say 3 months into your trading, if obviously you didn't have this same skill set, but your confidence level should be, through the roof compared to, say, if you went back into your first quarter of trading. I mean, would that be accurate for me to say that, Richard?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's the confidence of knowing what I'm looking at and just executing. That's really it. Before my first trading years, I feel like I had a good idea, but didn't know when to jump in or feel like it was the right moment. But
so real quick, so what would you do? Would you guess?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would take a guess and take a shot and go.
Okay. All right. Okay. Because you couldn't name what you were doing. You were just saying, I feel like it's going to go up, or I think it's going to go down, right?
Right. I mean, I had a good understanding of the moving averages, so I would kind of go there, but it was definitely more of a guessing game instead of like full confidence of knowing, all right, well, I think it's going to go this way. If it doesn't, my stop is here. And, if it goes my way, cool. If it doesn't, then I'm just out.
Next trade. Yeah.
I was wrong and just be done with it instead of being like, all right, well, it's not going my way. Maybe I can wait it out and see what happens. And then try to, see if it does end up going my way, even though I can see it's not going my way right now.
Letting those weeds grow.
Yeah.
We always talk about, especially in the profit taking, which we're going to be talking about that. Let's see, 1, 2. That's going to be like another month or so when we get into that. But letting weeds grow and snatching up your roses too quick. That's like an old saying in stock in Florida. Got some man, he's snatching up roses and he's letting the weeds grow. And
I think the one thing is when you're trading with your own money too, if you just have a cash account, based on your account size, you only have so many shots. So there's also that kind of added pressure, just like, well, I only got so many shots today. I want to make this good. If it's not going your way, that's when you start to kind of trick yourself into, doing things you shouldn't be doing. So
and that's fine. And that's fine. It's good to have that pressure on you because at some point you're going to have that 25,000 in the account and you're not going to be subject to the PDT rule. And then after that, then you become dangerous.
Yep. Yeah.
Right. Because now, when I start getting a little nervous, when I'm trading SPY, when I get into my margin, because I know, all right, now we're talking some money now. I mean, you can't be unfocused here. You need to really be on top of your game right now. So, and that's what happens, like you said, when you go into your cash account, well, maybe I don't have as many trades as I would like to have.
Right.
So, I need to pick my setups correctly here, and if they work out, great. Nothing changes from that standpoint. If it works, great. If it doesn't, fine. I move on to my next trade, but I'm trying to definitely pick my trades. That's why going through this exercise, paper trading, you don't have those restrictions on you.
Right.
You can just do it. So now when we dial it back down and you look at those numbers, which again, thank you again for giving us that spreadsheet. When you start dialing it down, you're going to go, you know what? These are my three. These are my best three. Here's my hook shot right here. Here's my cream hook shot. This is my go-to. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for that one today. That's where we're going with this thing. And you guys knew it anyway. But that's where we're going. Okay. All right, cool. Thank you, Richard.
No problem.
Cecily, how you doing?
I'm good, but I'm sorry your tooth hurts, but I have a visual now of you in Costco that I can't get out of my head. Shopping while angry in the cereal aisle, contemplating an argument with a box of Quaker oatmeal because the dude on the box is looking at you in judgment. Is that how it went?
No, it was the lady that hands out samples. She's trying to give me some feta cheese. I want to eat feta cheese. What do I want feta cheese for?
The rage.
On a cracker. Like I'm going to eat feta cheese on a cracker.
Yeah, no, not today. So I am sorry. It sucks. I'm laughing with you. I'm crying with you.
That's cool.
Poor lady.
Let's make you feel better. I
didn't jam her up or nothing, but I was kind of like, really?
But you,
feta cheese on a cracker.
Yeah, feta cheese. Got your feta cheese right here. 20 trades. And I'll confess, they're a combination of live trades and paper trades.
Ooh, okay. You and John.
17 wins, 3 losses.
Oh boy, wow.
Well, Colleen just called me out in the chat too. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, by the way. I saw that on Facebook.
Girl, hush. Yeah, that was a real one. But that wasn't one of my setups, so it doesn't count. I can take it live. It was I drew out the lines and I saw what I saw and it was winking at me and I took it.
So what were your 3 setups this week?
I did retracements, 180s and the trap zone. which I don't like the trap though.
Okay, good.
I like it. Well, you know, I'm very nervous at the bell.
Open, at the open.
Yeah, and because everything is just pandemonium and everything feels like an ambush. And that's where you're going to see the trap. So
that's why it's called.
Exactly. And I noticed, probably partially subconsciously, what I seem to like and not like this week. I've got a lot more retracements than I did the 180s or the traps. Like, only got 3 traps because I don't like it.
Okay. That's what this is about. That's why we're doing this exercise. You're going to know what you do and what you don't, where you're strong, where you're weak. Mm-hmm. Once you know that, then we can go through and line up, okay, well, I'm not going to do that one. I'm not going to use that one. I'm not going to use that one.
Yeah, what I learned this week is I need to be missing in action probably for the first 45 minutes.
Love it.
Yeah.
Just sit on my hands. You know, there are I got some buddies that, well, not buddies anymore, but guys I used to trade with, Cecily, that, you know, for the first half an hour of the session, they were sitting there, you know, they were drinking their coffee. Everybody else is all dialed in, and they were just like,
I need to be at the water cooler.
I need to let the dust settle. You know, once the dust settled, then I can swing into action at that point. So
yeah, because I noticed just from an emotional standpoint, I'm just in a state of nervous agitation. So, yeah. And then after that, I seem to calm down, and you see how I post things, like you could kind of tell where I'm like, oh yeah, I like this. This feels good. So that's how the week went. Now, I couldn't remember where to find Richard's spreadsheet. So I did all my calculations again by hand, but I'd love to transfer spreadsheet.
Pat, we've got that on our Facebook, right?
Yeah, it's on Facebook. But what I'll do is I'll send it over to everybody. I'm going to take it off of Facebook. Oh, it still stay on Facebook, but I'll send it over to everybody else as well. So that way you guys have it via email as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good spreadsheet.
Yeah. And when you're doing this out by hand, you're like going, I sure wish I could remember where that spreadsheet.
It was a good price too. Yeah. We got it at the right price.
Yeah.
Unbelievable price.
Yeah.
It takes a little while. Once you get the hang of it, you know, you can enter those trades in pretty quick.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you
one more time, Richard. That was priceless for
that. Chris, how you doing, Chris?
Hey, Mr. Tony, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. How'd it go this week?
It went pretty good this week. I had 26 trades.
Nice.
16 wins, 10 losses.
Okay.
I did the gifts, the grinds, and the halts.
You said you had 20 trades or 26?
26.
And you went 10 and 10?
No, I went 16 and 10.
Oh, 16 and 10. I'm sorry, I misheard you. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So feeling a little more comfortable?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little more comfortable. What's getting me is the grind, actually, because I'm using like someone said earlier, a trailing stop, and it's stopping me out along the way. So I'm trying to work with that and see how much, you know, I need to give as I'm playing options.
So we need to, put those stops or give ourselves some room. Like I'll tell you, like, especially on that grind, you'll find that sometimes the stock will trade sideways over to the 8 before it starts to either make its ascension or decline. And you need to be able to give it a little bit of room so that it can, you're not going to get taken out on the first little wiggle, first little jiggle, you're out, and then you miss that giant move, you know what I mean? Because you need to give it a little bit of space. So a lot of times I'll take it off of the candle, the reason why I got into the trade, and then I will just trade out. My stop will be, and I'll put it in my book. I come off and I put it on the 8, and I'm trading the 8 at that point, So I'm removing that stop, and my stop has become the 8, and then I'm trading it, remembering that I need 2 candles to take me out. not just one little peekaboo, because we'll see sometimes, where it will pop in there for a minute and create a wick inside that 8, but it won't have any follow through on the next candle, or the next candle is a color change. It'll go from red to green or green to red, whatever, so.
Yeah, that's what happened.
All right. Okay. Very cool. Well, again, that's why we're getting it done here. That's why we're getting it done here. Thanks again. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see here. Brandon, how are you?
What's up, Mr. Tony?
I'm hanging in here with you guys, man. How'd it go this week?
Man, it went pretty tough.
Okay. Tell me about it. How many trades you get in?
I got 13. I got 20 trades, 13 wins, 7 losses. I was looking for the grind, tweezers, and the Hulk. Something completely different than what I had last week.
That's the exercise. We're trying to figure out what we like and what we don't like, what we're good at and what we're not good at, statistically, not just how we feel about it, but what's making us money and what's not going to make us money when we get into, trading with actual capital. So how'd you feel about it?
I actually, I'm gonna be honest with you, Sensei. That 35 wins and 5 losses, it made me think that I knew what I knew, and I traded with some real capital, and it just went. I didn't follow my rules. And that's when I was talking to you in Clubhouse that day when the market was down. I ended up, and I wrote this down. I wrote this down in my book. I wrote this down in my book when, like, the whiteboard and all that. You know how the whiteboard trade with the 20 and all that. I was trying to guess the market that day.
Trying to be fancy, huh?
You're just trying to. I was trying
to
guess.
Don't get fancy.
Yeah. So
all the rules.
I had put another rule down as trade what you see, not how you feel. See, I felt that the market was going to go up and down, but I didn't trade what I saw, and I seen it right there. I seen it.
Okay.
And I didn't follow my logic, and the trade went against me.
Okay, because the market don't care how you feel or what you think, right? The market is just random. It does what it does.
Yeah, I seen it. The 20 was way up here. The stock was way down here. I should have bought a call right there because I knew it was going up there, but I was thinking logic, and that's when I talked to you with Stedman, and he said, never short the gap. And that's what I try to do and got hammered. But I seen that move, and I went over that trade, and
you learned from it.
I learned from that. That was a big mistake.
See, but that's okay because see, Brandon, that's why I was talking about. I'd rather see you guys with more losses than wins because you're going to learn more from those losses.
Yeah.
The wins, you think, I got it. Remember you said earlier, I felt like I knew what I was doing. I had it going, Well, I don't want you to feel that way right now. I want you to feel that way 5 months from now, not
right. Yeah. It got that loss taught me something. Like it taught me a lot right there. Like you need to practice. You definitely need to practice, and that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you again. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you being honest like that. I appreciate you sharing that. I'm sure some other people got something from that too. We all did. Yeah. We all did. Thank you, Brandon.
No problem.
Hey, Miss Donna.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I heard the story about, listen, I went to work one time and I don't remember what it was, like codeine or something. And people were sounding all strange. It was a out of body experience. So I met with you. So anyways, so I did 20 trades.
Oh, good. All right. Thank you.
15 wins, 5 losses.
Okay.
And it was the reversals, the 180 and the V trade.
And the what trade?
I'm sorry, the V trade, the 90.
Retracement?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. No problem. No problem.
And the breakouts. So
And you did 4?
well, you know what? See, this is the thing. Isn't the I'm thinking the V trade and the retracements, they're like kind of
They're similar. Similar in nature.
So it's like exactly
but
so,
different. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that's
Because I want you to be able to identify those.
yeah. Well, the
Okay.
V trade is that's pretty dramatic.
Okay.
You know, that's how I look at it. But the thing is though, when I was looking at this setups and you have RCI and GCI, right?
Red candle and green candle,
Yeah.
ignore it. Uh-huh.
But how do you use that as a technique to, I would only use it to get to like getting if I had missed the initial cause.
Yes. Yes, and we use those to add as well. It's an entry. It's definitely an entry. Yes.
So if I missed the reversal like right off and I caught on that, hey, it's happening, that's when I would get in. But anyways, thank you. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Are
you feeling more confident though, Donna? Are you feeling?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I am. I'm feeling pretty good about this stuff. So
Okay.
just like you said, just got to get that practice in and being able to recognize the difference about these, because some of them are like, pretty similar.
Mm-hmm. There's different just slight little nuances to them, but
yeah, and like you keep seeing other things, but I've been ignoring them.
Stay with
But
your 3.
sometimes I might use them as a cause to stay in the trade and not get out, which
Okay. So you're learning about what you I don't want to use the word feel, but what you are identifying when you're in a trade that may give you more confidence about the trade. But we really don't know, but it's just
yes, what you expect to happen until so you got to watch those games.
Because we don't know, right? Because we don't know for sure, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It definitely gives me confidence, because before I'd be like hot footing it out of there, because I don't want to
matching up those roses and letting those weeds grow.
Exactly. So I've gotten better at that. So
all right. Okay, cool. All right. Well, fantastic. All right. Well, thank you, folks. I appreciate that. Hey, Patrick, I want to go over a couple of things. Can I do the screen share thing, or do I just go down here to the bottom at the?
Yeah, right where it says screen share. And while you're doing that, because I wanted to kind of mention something as well, because I was thinking about this before, because we had this conversation, Mr. Tony, with regards to the last few weeks we've been sort of going through this practice component of the journaling and really a lot of people, a lot of you guys might be thinking to yourself, wanting to get into the actual, like Mr. Tony mentioned just a little bit ago, looking at jumping right into that on-demand trade where we're just following through and looking at the ins and outs and things like that. And part of the reason why we're not necessarily submitting this in advance, meaning in the sense where you guys run through the numbers and submit it, is so that way we can have the discussion about the particular process as well. Because I think before we even decided on doing this particular program, I think one of the biggest thing that we realized, Mr. Tony and I were having a conversation about it, is there's a different mental gap that's missing. The knowledge of the information is there, but there's something else. There's an additional mental gap of how to approach things that was missing. And that was part of the reason why we said, okay, let's do this. But in the beginning, let's have that gap. Let's see if we can bridge that gap. And that's why Mr. Tony is going through a lot of this more openly, because where you might, go over a particular setup, and you notice something, someone else is not thinking about that, and they catch onto it. And then that's why we, it seemed like during these sessions were taking a lot longer right now. We are going to speed up, but we want to be able to at least start out with just, we say Mr. Miyagi style. We want to be able to kind of just really, really, really dial in a lot more mental foundation rather than technical foundation. And that's what, it's funny, what the prediction was is sort of what is happening, where part of what we might have done on the trade for paper trade, and then we go into the live trade, and it's not coming out the same way. And that's part of what we're looking for, is to be able to see where there's a disconnect. And like he says, wants to make all of us the best trader we possibly can in the process. So I wanted to just kind of mention this to you all. So that way you guys understand, just as far as the patience in the startup process. That's part of the reason why, even though we said this is going to be bi-weekly, we wanted to add the additional weeks. So that way we can do pop-ups and try to speed the process a little bit more, to increase the learning a little bit more faster. I guess the mental learning part a little bit more faster, so we can get to the technical side and start looking at the implementation of the different trades, because we all will have different top 5 trade setups that we like to use. And so when we turn on that on demand, and now it's moving, because we've already practiced on the different trades, and then we say, okay, this is where I'm coming in because, or Mr. Tony is saying it's coming in because of X, and we all understand, oh, I know why X. We can see it as he's going through it. But if we stick to just the ones that we want, and he's going through those particular trades, we will miss out on the reasoning why we're switching from one setup to a different setup to a different setup. I know I had a conversation with him, and we were in the middle of a conversation. We went through like 8 different setups with Micron ones. And so it was just being able to actually look at that particular flow. I wanted to just take a moment and explain this particular process a little bit from a student perspective as well, because just like you guys, I'm also learning this whole thing as well, and going through it as well with you guys. So I want you guys to know that I'm also, looking at this.
He's over there taking notes too.
And so I don't want you guys to, I hopefully what I'm just saying right now is not just going, a lot of different direction. If it does make sense, please chime in. Let me feel like I'm not making random knowledge. But that's the purpose of why we're looking at what we're doing.
Patrick, we understand that you have the best of both worlds. You're getting paid on both ends. We understand that. Thank you for the explanation as far as the reason for the process. Greatly appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, check this out. Now, this was from yesterday, right? John, you remember this? Yola, if you're still there, I know you remember this, right? You remember this Micron trade? Okay. So check this out, John. Now, you said you were in this trade, you missed this trade. Guys, I want you guys to understand this trade when you see this, okay? Right here, you have, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red candles. Yes, there's a green candle in between it, but it's really pretty insignificant green candle, okay? Look. We have got to, I wonder if I can use one of these little thingamajiggies up here. Ooh, I wonder if I can use this one. Okay, like a, we got to take, let me change my color. Look, you got to take and blend and make all those candles one candle, okay? Boom. Okay, I know that's a bad drawing, but what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to blend all these candles together and make, well, that went too far right there. And make that one candle. John, see what I'm doing?
You're making it the gift.
Thank you.